Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Braun Performance and Rehab Podcast, proudly powered by ISOFIT, Firefly Recovery, and Engage Movement. ISOFIT is my go-to for all things isometric strength training. For more on ISOFIT, be sure to check out isofit.com. Firefly Recovery is my go-to for all things recovery, as you can see right here. Love the Firefly, especially with travel. For more on Firefly, be sure to check out recoveryfirefly.com. Engage Movement is the official business coaching provider and creator of the blended practice model, which I'm a huge fan of. For more on that, be sure to go over to Ray Gorman DPT on Instagram and DM Dan to get your free guide and free training. Today is a special episode, hence the reason I'm actually posting the whole video and set up this elaborate display for you all to look at here. There might be a hidden Easter egg or two if you can find them. Good luck. But today's recording of episode 500, which if you've followed me for any length of time, you know that I'm very much a ready, fire, aim guy, and I have no strategy to anything that I do whatsoever. I don't know what the rest of today is bringing. I don't know what tomorrow's bringing, and that's just how we do it. But somehow we got to episode 500 from when we started the podcast in March of 2020, and flipped the tables. My guy Chipper, who I've known since about that time, great freaking dude. If you don't follow Chipper Anderson, you really need to. I believe Donald Trump actually endorses that message as well, or something to that effect. But Chipper is going to be interviewing me today, and I have no clue what's coming. I don't think either of us planned or prepped for this whatsoever. We're just going to be buzzing on caffeine and having a good little conversation. So enjoy that.
Yes, sir. So, Dan, starting off, shooting from the hip, 500 episodes. What a journey. So, I kind of want to walk it back. I want to give everyone a little view of who is Dan Braun.
Dude, I don't even know.
Who are you? Who were you before the podcast? But podcaster, physical therapist, salesman. What are you?
I mean, at this point, I'm just trying to be the next Jordan Belfort of the fitness space, I think. Maybe caffeine over Quaaludes, I don't know. But yeah, no, I mean, back in the day, grew up in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, small town kid, and really picked a small school in PA because, like, that's what I knew as a small town PA kid. Exercise science undergrad, PT grad. COVID came around when I was in grad school. I was like, shoot, I have all this free time on my hands now. And I was very concerned about being soft during COVID because, like, I felt like a lot of people were going to, like, not push the envelope and just kind of, like, you know, get fearful and fall into this trap of not doing anything productive. And I didn't want to do that. And I'd always listen to podcasts a lot. I thought it was a great source of knowledge and info. Big fan of the Ben Greenfield podcast. And I was like, well, shoot, I'll just start my own, and literally recorded the first episode with an app on my phone, holding the phone up like this because I was too cheap to buy a microphone. And it probably sounded terrible. I don't even remember what it was about. I know every now and then people actually listen to it, and I just laugh that it's still getting downloads because it was probably ridiculous and dumb and did not sound good whatsoever. Definitely was not professional. But I'm kind of stupid and I don't quit things. So I just kept it going and just kind of logically followed what I thought was a decent course. Like after I did about 50 episodes, I was like, start bringing guests on. And then once we were bringing guests on, it was just like one led to the next, led to the next, led to the next. And somehow we got here.
So have you always found yourself to be an outwardly going person? And then two-part, do you like to hear yourself talk?
I hate hearing myself talk. I hate my voice, and I always edit on 1.5 to 1.75 speed because I don't want to hear myself more than I have to. Hate hearing myself talk. I feel like I had this weird, like, introvert extrovert blend where, like, in high school, like, you know everyone because I'm in a graduating class of like 45 kids.
Same here.
But at the same time, it's like you're not used to, like, being in a room with like thousands of people because there's not thousands of people in your town. So it's like this weird, like, extroverted, you know everyone and you can up to talk with anyone. But at the same time, like, there's also such a limit in, like, amount of people there that, like, you know, at least from a college standpoint, I think at the time, if I went to one of those, like, big time 50,000 plus schools, I'd be a little overwhelmed with it. So
Nice. So over the course of this journey, have you ever second guessed yourself or found where you're just kind of contemplating whether the podcast is worth it?
I've had a lot of people question why I do it and why I keep going. And I just kind of tell them it's like enjoyable. It's fun. Like you get to have great conversations with great people and you never know what's going to happen because I don't script anything. Every now and then people ask me for like sample questions that I'm going to ask them. And I've gotten to the point where I just slam something into Chat GPT, send it to them. And then I don't look at it. I'm just like, yeah, here's some ideas. And then we just go off script right away. I just think it's better that way. I think it's normal to have like doubts and stuff when you're doing things. Like there's a moment where I was in PT school and I was like, shoot, do I want to be doing this? And then one of our professors started teaching spinal manipulation, and I was like, yeah, I think we're good. I think I can handle this. So yeah, I think it's normal to have doubts, but I think if you just keep freaking going and just stay consistent, those doubts go away real quick.
Yeah, it's just kind of stay persistent, keep chipping away, and always like say,
Chipping away that stuff. I like it.
yes, sir. Just keep hammering. That's all you can do. And then one of my good buddies always says, fail fast.
Yeah.
And I think that's tried and true, especially going back to your early days in those first 50 episodes. So if anyone wants a good laugh, I'm sure you could scroll back a little bit to the early days. And
you don't want to do it. Don't waste your time.
And if you do, make sure to tag us in it and put it in your story so that we all can get a good laugh.
Laugh at the cover art too. The cover art has evolved quite a bit over time. The editing skills have gotten a little better, so definitely get a good little laugh out of that. I always do anyways.
Yeah. So over the course of 500 episodes, and I get 450 conversations that you've had with different people, what are some of the things that have really changed you as a practitioner or made you like rethink some things?
Yeah, I mean, there was a conversation I had with Phil Plisky in relation to return to sport. And one of the things he brought up is like for athletes, return to sport is always looked at as this event. It's this like snapshot in time. Like, hey, at this many months post-op, we're going to do your hop test, all these different things. And if you pass, you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, those numbers vary so much acutely. And I saw that when I was practicing clinically. We'd have kids get sick, and just out of curiosity, I'd retest them after they were sick, and numbers would drop like 15-20%. So he kind of proposed it instead of this like event that occurs on the calendar. It's more of a continuous progression to a end goal or point, if you will. And that was something that stuck with me that really changed a lot. And the other thing that's probably gotten me into some trouble every now and then, but I still think it's some of the best advice I've ever been given. I did a number of episodes with Dr. James Drees, who is a phenomenal sports knee and shoulder surgeon out of the Baltimore, Maryland area that way. Just incredible skills, super nice guy, great team, just seamless process. And a lot of athletes that I worked with, I saw him, and after a podcast episode one time, and I mean, this was 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. We had some delays getting on, tech can be sometimes that way. But ended up talking to like 11, something ridiculous at night. And one of the pieces of advice he gave, because I told him like, sometimes this sports space can be confusing. It's like, hey, like we've got so many hands in the care of athletes now. We've got so many things going on. It's just tough to navigate. And here's like, just simplify it. Just always do the right thing by the person in front of you. And as long as you do that, you can sleep good at night and you'll never have to worry about anything. So I always try to do right by the people that I'm working with. And sometimes that does have a tendency to ruffle feathers for one way or another. But as long as I feel like I'm doing right by the person in front of me and they feel like I'm doing what they need, then I sleep just fine.
Nice. Yeah. So going back to it, at the end of the day, if it wasn't for the athlete, we would all be out of a job.
Facts. Like we kind of need athletes, and you kind of need special ops guys in your line of work. It's like we all need the clients that we work with, or else we don't have work. And I think that's part of the reason too. I'm not concerned that like AI will like take this job
No.
because it's so human facing. It's like AI cannot replace the things that we do on the day to day. Sure, it might be able to write a somewhat decent program, but what we do is not just writing a program. There's so much more than that.
And that's the other thing too. Like AI might give you a good program, but at the end of the day, the athlete, 5, 10 years later down the road, they're mainly going to remember how you made them feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like the numbers are a good thing, and it's if you're a good practitioner, those are going to come. But the main thing is making the athlete feel something.
Yeah. And
Connection.
we've had that come up with so many podcasts that we've done with athletes, right? Like Nick Grano, when he was at Maryland, we had some Maryland girls on the podcast. Rob Nelson from his time in collegiate athletics and beyond, different ones like that come to mind, that it's like, the athletes distinctly remember these people and they miss working with these people because of those interactions and because of the assistance that they gave during times that were a little bit trying to them. And it's like, those are stories that I feel like aren't told enough, and they never teach that in school. Like they never teach you how to be a good person, how to have a positive impact on other people. That just kind of comes out as a part of your character, I think.
Yeah. You could kind of going off of that, the same instance. So this journey for the 500 podcast, do you think that was more born out of curiosity or more of like a conviction?
It's an interesting question. I mean, I feel like I've always been a generally curious person. Like, I like learning stuff and I like getting to know more things and I like generally questioning stuff. Like, you stay up late one night on the weekend and you end up on the conspiracy theory side of like TikTok and you just start to question some stuff a little bit.
Bigfoot real.
Yeah, he might be. So we have that natural curiosity, but by the same token, I don't like traditional learning. I never really enjoyed sitting in a lecture hall for hours on end. I never learned a lot from like just trying to like look at PowerPoints and memorize them, which is what a lot of people I know did. They would literally write PowerPoint slides out on a whiteboard, erase it, rewrite it over and over again to memorize the information. And that was just never my style. I can recall details of conversations that I've had years ago with people through the podcast, but I can't recall what was on lecture 5, slide 70 of my undergrad biomechanics class. Like I just don't have that level of like recall to like lecture style stuff. So I like a more engaging format. And I also feel like when you're not scripted, it becomes conversational.
Yeah.
So you remember conversations, or it's just more engaging in general. It's like, you make ridiculous references throughout. Like one of the athlete podcasts that we did, somehow we ended up on the topic of their team Pookie, which I didn't know what a Pookie was, but like I learned what a Pookie was. And I remember
That means we're getting old.
Yeah, I'm like, shoot, like it's amazing what you learn. And, those are things that like you don't pick up on if you're just sticking to like a script. I think when you kind of start to veer off into the like uncharted waters a bit, if you will, then you start to pick up on all those weird little quirks and maybe Gen Z lingo or whatever.
Yeah. So how do you balance that drive? And I know you have a lot of irons in the fire right now. So how do you balance all that and know where to put your energy?
So it's funny because this concept of balance has come up a lot lately. And I think there's a quote in a book written by Mike Matthews called The Little Black Book or something like that. And there was a quote about the Japanese samurai warriors. And for them, their path forward was in desperateness. You can't have one or two people take down someone like that. Like you're going to need a whole freaking army. And it's because they were, by most people's definition, insane and desperate for success. So for me, it's like, on one hand, I don't have a balance in the sense that I don't have like a structured 8-hour day. I don't have a structured 40-hour work week. But by the same token, like I think if you want to achieve great things, you need to go away from that traditional script. And I don't think the traditional 9 to 5 is going to set you up for like the greatest things in life and great success on all fronts. So I think balance in that sense can be a little bit of an overrated term or goal for people.
Yeah. I mean, it's similar to the term burnout, which we hear a lot. And it's almost kind of getting burnout at hearing the term burnout.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about any person in any field that has ever done anything in their life to make a true change, you could pretty much argue it wasn't really healthy for that individual, because at some end you have to go all in.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when we had Kelly Starrett on the podcast, we did an episode with him and his wife, Juliet, talking about their journey. And they were telling me how they're both in grad school, right? Because I believe Juliet's got a legal degree and Kelly's got his DPT. And they've got the CrossFit gym that Kelly opened in San Francisco. And they just find out that they're pregnant with their first child. So it's like you've got a baby on the way. You're both elite athletes that work out all the time, but you're also in school and you have a pretty new CrossFit business that you're trying to grow. So I know a lot of caffeine was consumed during that time. And I've seen that amongst other people. One of my former coworkers that way, like he was consuming enough caffeine to probably like tranquilize an elephant. Like there's at least 1,000 milligrams a day going down. And it's like they have recommendations about that stuff, but at the same time, like he's able to do stuff that I'm never able to do. Like I'm not able to deadlift 855 pounds from the floor. So like, hey, if it works for you, who am I to judge, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So kind of going off that whole burnout scenario, it's just kind of leveraging what's around you. And I think leveraging your time. I mean, how many stories have you heard about people that own gyms, that live in the gym, and then it's literally you have to go all in to make any type of significant change. And it's all seasons of life too.
Yeah.
Like I guess we're both on the back half of our 20s now. So so
Getting old.
So yeah, you know, we still have time on our side per se, and you can leverage that time to then buy you more time in the future.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a book I read by Ben Hardy called Slipstream Time Hacking, and that changed my concept around burnout and time a lot, because essentially the way he proposes it is we measure success and accomplishments as far as like how long someone's been doing something. Like, oh, you know, Chipper's done this job for 30 years, or he's had this certification for 50 years. Give him a pin. When in reality, maybe it's not about the time invested, but the distance traveled, right? Like the average American gets one vacation to Hawaii in their lifetime. And that was from that same Mike Matthews book I referenced, or the Ben Hardy book I referenced a second ago. And it's like, well, if one lifetime equals one trip to Hawaii, if I go to Hawaii 10 times in my life, did I just live tenfold the life of the average person? So I like to think about time and burnout more in the, I want to travel as far as possible. I want to make as many things happen as possible, because that's going to be me living my life to the fullest and maybe more than what other people get out of their life. And I want that for everyone. I want everyone to have that like fulfilling lifestyle that allows them to go the places they want to do the things that they want to do, and, you know, accomplish as much as they want to, as long as they're willing to make the trade-offs that it takes.
Yeah, that's good. So going off of that, I know the past year or so you've really been adding some miles per se, as you said. So in the past 2 years, like where's been the best places you've traveled?
Yeah, I've stuck domestic lately, so I haven't gone out of the country, which I need to do that. Domestically, I mean, San Antonio food scene, all you can eat barbecue with the bread.
Shout out County Line Barbecue, all you can eat.
$40, all you can eat barbecue. I mean,
And then let me tell you about the bread. The bread was pretty much the highlight of the show. You could take up that piece of bread and it would fall in your hands. You had to be there.
it was great. 10 out of 10 recommend. Yeah, food scene in San Antonio is epic. Love Phoenix, Arizona, Scottsdale. Obviously, go up north like Sedona, Flagstaff. Like Arizona in general is incredible. I take a annual ski trip out west as well. So did Colorado this past year, doing Colorado again this year. Vail, Breck, Beaver Creek, Epic Pass, Epic Resorts, if you're listening, I would love a sponsorship. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, we take an annual ski trip, which I love it out there. And I think one of the things that stuck with me is like the destinations have been cool. The food has been great, but like you remember the people that you meet and the things that you do together more than anything else. Like, we were literally at a like hotel bar in Los Angeles, my first night out there for a conference in June. And like one of the guys I meet and end up talking with for about an hour was like a former pro soccer player for the LA Galaxy. Like, and we just talked about his soccer stories, like playing alongside Landon Donovan and David Beckham, playing against guys like Ronaldo and Messi and all these different ones, because of course, when other teams wanted to come to the US, they came to LA.
Mm.
So it was just so cool, like the people that you meet and the memories that you get just by putting yourself out there. And I mean, a lot of that travel has been for ISOFIT. So I mean, huge shout out to Brad for making that possible, because like I probably wouldn't take nearly as many trips if it wasn't for that.
Yeah. So now you've most recently changed locations, and now you're more North Carolina boy now.
Yeah.
So moving from Maryland to North Carolina, what would have been some of the major things that have changed for you?
I think in general, I'm a little bit more of like a Southern boy at heart, if you will. Like, I think people misunderstand the North. Like, if you go north far enough, it starts to become the South again. Like, I don't know how else to put it. It's like small town, middle of nowhere, like, like just backwoods kind of stuff. Like, we would drive around for fun in high school because that's what there was to do. So I feel like the southern vibes in general have been really good. I like the weather. I mean, it's warmer, which like as I've gotten older, I realized that like I have a limited tolerance for the cold. And I really like some warm weather. So love the warm weather. Love the food down here as well. The amount of good barbecue I've had since I moved here is incredible. Don't get me wrong, like Maryland, like I love the Old Bay. I still put that stuff on everything. But in general, North Carolina's been really good, and I'm really spoiled being like 10, 12 minutes from the airport. So that's really changed the scene for me from a travel standpoint, being able to Uber to an airport so quick and have direct flights to all these different places instead of like driving 2.5 hours to an airport or connecting. I like the convenience factor. I'm very spoiled now.
Yeah, I was about to say you picked a pretty good location with relation to different universities around here. I didn't realize how many schools were in this part of North Carolina.
Dude, really? Yeah.
Yeah, it is a lot. It's almost a little overkill.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because like the sports scene is booming as a result.
Yeah.
And it's like we go to so many sports games now, and it's like we would go to sports games in Maryland, but like it was a little bit more limited. You had one or two universities, and you had like single A or double A baseball team within like a 45-minute drive vicinity. So it just made it more difficult versus like being able to get to multiple D1 schools that are like historic programs for their athletics in a 20 to 25-minute drive. It's a different ball game.
Nice. Now I kind of want to steer back to more towards the 500 episodes and more reflection based. So there's one question I've been dying to ask. Is there a question that you get feared that someone would ask you on the podcast?
And then of course you're going to ask me that question.
And then I'm going to ask you that question.
Yeah. No, it's funny you asked that because I feel like in general, I try to have an answer to almost anything, even if that answer is, I'm not sure, I'll get back to you kind of thing. But like, I haven't really picked out like one specific question that's like, oh my gosh, like if someone answers that, like I'm screwed. Like I haven't thought of anything just because I try to live like my life, and whatever you see online is like as transparent of a reflection to like me and who I am and what I do as possible. Like, tour around the apartment, you're not gonna see like the PS5 or like some gaming PC there. Like we're not gonna get caught up in that. You can scroll through my search history. You're not gonna find like OnlyFans subscriptions or anything like that. Like we don't do that here, but I guess we're both barefoot, so we are kind of giving away like free feet viewing, I guess, for those watching the podcast.
Team
but
No Shoes.
enjoy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Guess we're into the barefoot training here.
Yeah.
I guess there really hasn't been like one specific like question to come to mind. I mean, there's certainly been different topics that come up sometimes that I like acknowledge that I'm maybe not the most knowledgeable about, and like maybe my wording could be better because I don't know it as well as some people, but like in general, I haven't really feared any specific question or anything that way, which is probably a terrible answer to what you asked, but I mean, it's the truth at the end of the day. I think if you just live your life as like an honest representation of yourself, you never have to worry about anything or hide anything.
Yeah. Authenticity.
It's a rare trait in today's day and age. It's hard to find.
It really is, especially with social media. Like, how many people do you see that kind of put on the front on social media? I mean, even when you're out and about and you see people
Yep.
shooting some type of content, and then as soon as that camera gets off of them, they're a completely different person.
Very much so. And I mean, my social media page is not booming or great by any means. This is going really good with me asking for a sponsorship before I know. But like it's as authentic as I can be. I don't chat GPT generate captions like a lot of people do. There's dashes, the amount of emojis, the list format, like it's obvious when you do it. And I try to not be that guy. So.
Yeah. And it's funny. It's like, everything goes in cycles. And now with the AI revolution, it's almost, if you're authentic in your caption and in your content, you almost have an advantage to other people because now it's so saturated with the AI, and you can just, it just seems fake.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't felt that advantage yet, at least in the form of follower count.
We're trying to speak it into existence.
We're hoping. Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. If it happens, it's because of this podcast.
Yeah, we're trying to speak it into existence. So one thing I've heard from multiple like younger coaches that I've been around, it's, what piece of advice would you have for starting a podcast, starting an LLC, starting your own thing? Like, what advice would you have for a younger coach, or even a coach that's tenured, but they just kind of want to get out from underneath of that 9 to 5 umbrella?
Yeah, I've been asked this a few different times, and I think my answer is generally always the same. If it's different somewhere out there on someone's podcast, please, someone call me out. But in general, think that the biggest thing you have to do is just start. Like a lot of times people get so caught up and lost in this concept of planning and thinking and making, all the steps and all that sort of thing. And I think a lot of times you can figure it out as you go. You just have to take that first step. You don't have to have step 1 to step 100 laid out perfectly in front of you, because odds are you're going to veer off that initial path anyways. So I would rather just get in motion, and then it's a lot easier to like remain in motion. I think that's like a physics, like Newton thing or something like that. Like, maybe I did pay attention in high school actually. So yeah, I think just get going on something, whatever it is. And even if it's not perfect, I mean, that's how we got the freaking 500 episodes of the podcast. Like I said before, I don't have it all planned out. I don't have it all scripted. I don't know what the next episode recording is going to be. And I get some text different times because I don't have like a schedule of when I'm releasing what. It's just kind of like spur of the moment.
Will.
It's like, hey, this is edited. We need a podcast today. Let's drop that one. So yeah, I think as long as you start and just keep going at whatever you want to pursue, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, I think that's part of the beauty in the chaos per se. It's, now that, going back to the technology aspect, like, and like just modern, the term modern.
Mhm.
When you think of modern, there's clean edges and everything's very symmetrical, but
Yep.
there is some type of beauty in the chaos. You'll never control it.
Yep.
But you can almost wield it per se, almost like Avatar.
Oh my god, jeez. Like the blue one.
Yeah.
Funny story. I've never seen those movies, but I
It's super long.
I rode the ride at the Disney World, so I feel like it's about the same.
Never been to Disney World.
Never been to Disney World.
Never been to
Dude,
Disney
You
World.
got to get to Orlando.
Never been to Florida.
Dude.
Speaking of travel.
Really, dude. I think you would vibe with it. Actually, no. You'd go Universal. because they got the Harry Potter world. And I know you're a big Harry Potter guy.
Big Harry Potter guy.
Big Harry Potter.
Movies, not the books.
Yeah, yeah, funny story about that. But we'll save that for another time.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
Yeah, I mean, read a lot of them in a short amount of time. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we all have our reasonings. No, but going back to that last little piece of advice, I think the best kind of piece of advice that I've gotten is just build relationships.
Yeah.
And I mean, just going back to our relationship 3 years ago. And it's hard to think that we've known each other for 3 years now.
Freaking shout out Danny for the connection.
Yeah, right. But it's just relationships, and it's always reaching out to people. I mean, in my scenario, 4 years ago, I was a nobody that graduated from undergrad, and it was the middle of COVID. Didn't know what to do. Ended up going to an online master's program. Moved to Virginia Beach. Still didn't know what to do. And then I just reached out to Danny Foley on Instagram. And then one thing led to another. And about a month later, I'm sitting down with a interview for my current owner right now at Virginia High Performance. And then 4 years later, I'm still there. And it literally changed the course of my career and pretty much my life. And it all comes down to the 3 sentences that I just YOLO'd and fired off and slid in the DMs.
The power of the Instagram DM, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And it's funny because that's how we've gotten so many people on the podcast too, is like, I just ask. And like, you never know what can happen if you throw yourself out there. It's like, you know, Kelly Starrett, Chris Gronkowski, Sal DiStefano from the Mind Pump media show. I love that show.
Judd Lyon.
Like literally just reaching out to people.
Yeah.
And like Reagan, who is like literally the PT for Michaela Schifrin, which like, again, I've been skiing since I was like tiny little guy. I've got a picture somewhere. I mean, like 15, 18 months old, like skiing. And I'm like, man, like it's incredible to be able to work with people like that. And like a lot of the people I work with, like I consider them to be like Hall of Fame caliber people for me.
Mhm.
Like, again, coming from middle of nowhere where like, you know, sports existed, but like we didn't have a whole lot of like pro success stories. We didn't have a whole lot of that sort of thing. And like strength and conditioning was a bit of a foreign concept to us, if you will. Even like modern sports centered rehab was a foreign concept for the most part. Like when people got hurt, like, you know, I had a stress fracture in my foot. And I asked the doctor what to do, and he's like, you know, just don't do things that hurt for a month and then come back. And that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
For better or for worse. And it's like, you know, like all the athletes that I've worked with, all these different incredible people that I've worked with through the podcast, like I consider them to be like best of the best, top of the top. Like it's like, again, that Hall of Fame kind of like mentality for me. It's like, I just think it's freaking cool to like talk with them, work with them, whatever it is that way. And you know, for me, it's almost like I'll brag about the fact that I know them because they're freaking cool. It's like, you know, I literally did a podcast with this girl who was ranked #1 for women's tennis D1 start of the season, and like missed like 3 years of high school tennis because of knee surgeries, like one and then the other. And then came back from both of those, like 3 years, no tennis, won her state championship in Florida, goes to Auburn for tennis, is ranked #1. And then I literally get to meet her because like 2 weeks after we did the podcast, she was like, I'm coming to Cary, North Carolina for a tennis tournament. And I'm like, I live there. It's just like, it's crazy how life works. I don't know how else to put it. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. So with, you know, coming up on the half a K mark in episodes, what do you have on the future? Do you have anything planned for content?
I mean, more video, which, you know, you thought I didn't like my voice. I also don't like how I look in front of a freaking camera. I'm like, who's this freaking idiot sitting over here? My goodness. So gonna do it because it's uncomfortable, and uncomfortable things are good. So
Yeah.
do more video. But otherwise, like a lot of it, like I said, a lot is not fully planned out. It's just like, yeah, that seems like a good idea. Let's do that. I mean, there's a few like off topic conversations that I think we'll have on the podcast. Like, there's a few different little things that I found people are passionate about that it's like, you know what, it'd be cool to get some people together and like do something on that, right? Like if we got like 5 of the squad mates together and we chopped it up about like the best pre-workouts and energy drinks for like 2 hours, no script. Like I'd listen to it. I think it'd be engaging, but like it probably doesn't fit the sports performance, sports rehab umbrella directly, but we'll probably do more stuff like that as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's adjunct. It relates.
I think we'll partner with more events as well and do more live podcasts at different places. I think that would be really cool. So I'm not really sure when that'll happen or who that's going to be with. If you're listening and you want to do it, reach out. I also think it'd be cool to partner with a university through the athlete side of the podcast that we do. I don't know if this will ever happen or not, because I'm sure that they're going to start their own podcast if they haven't already. But like, we literally sit down with the athletes from these different teams and just talk about whatever they want to talk about, whether that's the injuries that they overcame or their journey or whatever it is that way. It's just really, really cool to be able to do that sort of thing. And it's like, you know, I'd love to like partner with a university and do that with like a whole team of athletes. Cause like I've never been disappointed by any one of their stories, any one of their journeys that way. It's always incredible. And I'm afterwards, I'm always saying like, hey, you should write a book because this is unbelievable. So would love some kind of like university partnership to help like, you know, raise awareness of their own athletes' journeys and experiences. And I'm sure it might come back on them from like a good marketing, good press kind of standpoint, because like people freaking listen to podcasts. And I mean, it's also led to NIL deals for some of the athletes that we work with different companies, which like, you know, you put yourself out there to the world and good things happen. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Now I want to go into just some kind of rapid fire questions, but stuff that's not so human performance related, just to kind of get you to know you a little bit more. So the first one I'm going to ask, are you a milk then cereal guy or your cereals then milk guy?
So funny story about milk. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with chocolate milk. Like I thought it was the best thing ever.
I drank it every day for 10 years of my life.
Yep. So like you can ask my parents to confirm this, but I think they were buying 2 or 3 gallons of chocolate milk a week when I was a kid. And I was a big fan. But with the cereal that I would eat, I don't eat cereal anymore, but they're going to call me crazy. I did a freaking dry Rice Krispies, dry Frosted Flakes. Yeah.
Dude, what a psychopath. It's dry cereal without milk.
That's like, you ever seen that SpongeBob episode where it's like, yeah, I had a bowl of nails for that.
Without any milk.
Without any milk.
Dude, that was you. How'd that mouth feel?
Dude,
Just get put up with all this dry cereal.
I think there's enough sugar on most of it that like you don't care, don't notice. It's like, yeah, freaking Frosted Flakes, the Fruit Loops, the Cocoa Rice Krispies, like all that stuff, just freaking dry, which, again, probably psycho to use your term, but
Yeah.
I'll take the psycho for not putting milk on it over the psycho for using soy milk on cereal. I think that's more criminal.
Yeah, I think that is more criminal. I think it's criminal to say soy or oat and have milk behind it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I haven't thought of that.
Nice. So the next one is, in a different life, what career would you have?
Shoot. I mean, in a lot of ways, like I think that I chose the right thing from a like PT, exercise science background, kind of hybrid, if you will, that way. But when I was in like middle school, like I was thinking I was going to go somewhere in the engineering comp sci type route, because that's what a lot of people in my family did. That's what my dad did. That's what my grandfather did. Um, you know, my uncle Bob, who I considered like one of those like childhood hero figures, if you will, like he worked for IBM as well. So like I had this like family effect towards like comp sci engineering kind of things, and I figured that's where I was going to end up. But you know, I'm thankful that I didn't. But I feel like if I've pursued that path, we're in a very different space, but in a different life, probably would have gone down it. So, especially now that I live in freaking Research Triangle Park.
Yeah.
Big tech space down here, you know?
Yeah, big tech guy over here.
Oh, yeah.
One thing I want to know is, what is your guilty pleasure song?
Guilty pleasure song.
Yeah, if you're in the gym, you have your headphones on,
Mhm.
and then you're just not like your Ryan Jesse's not hitting today. Like what are you like a white girl's banger? Are you like a house music guy?
So, I haven't needed any guilty pleasure songs in quite some time, but I feel like, I think this was circa 2023. We gotta shout out Taylor Swift because I technically hit my deadlift PR to Blank Space. Now, it was a cover of Blank Space, I should throw that in there, but regardless, it is a Taylor Swift song.
Big Swiftie over here.
So we gotta shout out Taylor Swift, and in general, um, I think she's got some good vibes, good music going that way. I haven't listened to anything on the new album. I'm just older Swiftie songs, but Taylor's version, of course.
Swift when she was country.
Yeah, back in the day. So we'll shout out T Swift. When I was in college, there was like a little bit of like a Ariana Grande, Tove Lo, like some of that like white girlish pop, for lack of a better way to put it. But like that was extremely short lived. I don't know. We've been all in on like the country metal rock kind of blend, if you will.
Yeah, got out Ryan Jesse.
Dude, Ryan Jesse, freaking. I'll even jam to like some Chase Matthews, different albums, Sean Stamali, Austin Snell. I mean, I don't know. I just throw it on. Literally show to like favorite songs, hit shuffle, and just go.
Nice. Yeah, I would say my guilty pleasure song. I actually hit one of my deadlift PRs to Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten.
That's a good one. That's a banger. I can see that.
Yeah,
See that.
it's just a good song, good vibe.
Good vibes.
Good vibes.
Man, I figure you're either gonna go that route or some like major like EDM route.
Yeah.
Techno guy.
Yeah, I mean, can't go wrong with some techno.
No,
Or a nice little mix with some Two Friends big booty mixes.
dude, what a classic. What a classic. Freaking that'll take you back right there. Which one is your favorite?
Oh, I want to say it's 15.
Yeah.
Either 15 or 17, whichever one has the hot dog on it. That's how I remember it.
Yeah. No, I like it's funny you say that because for me it always goes to the cereal one.
Oh yeah, that's like 18.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was 18. It was something between 15 and 20. I just, again, cereal box. Big cereal guy, but no milk.
The milk. I say, yeah, I still can't believe that. All right. So, so knowing like Pizza Saturdays, I'm a pizza guy. So what is your favorite type of pizza? And two, are you a fork and knife guy
For pizza.
for pizza?
I try to not. I mean, if it's like disintegrating and falling apart, I'd rather fork and knife than wear half of it. But like, we try to not do that. That's just great. Great. Shout out to college textbooks for propping up the Firefly display.
Yeah. So this is what happens when you graduate. You just take your old textbook. So college students out there, save your textbooks and you can use them for props.
They do come in handy.
They do come in handy. You'll never open it.
Or like if your like couch is uneven or something like that, you gotta like put one underneath one side to level it out. Yeah. Great use of the books that way. But yeah, no, pizza. Big fan of chicken bacon ranch. It is
Chicken bacon ranch.
incredible combo. Very good combo. Very popular where I'm from. Chicken bacon ranch pizza, and then the one place that closed unfortunately, but they did a chicken bacon ranch mac and cheese. Oh, dude, freaking slap your mama good.
So you a New York style guy, being from up north?
I would pick New York over Chicago. I've been to Chicago and got New York style pizza in Chicago because like,
loyalty,
dude. Like I don't mind like a good like stuffed crust or something like that, but there's a certain point where I feel like I'm eating more dough than actual pizza.
Yeah, like regardless of what anybody says, there is a perfect dough to cheese to sauce ratio.
Yes. Yes, and you can tip that scale.
Yes. And then no matter what ratio, the sauce has to be the least. I don't want to be eating soup.
My other hot take. So I'm from Pennsylvania, where Old Forge is known as like the pizza capital, and I was not impressed with Old Forge pizza.
Really?
I wasn't impressed. And I'm not saying it's bad, but I just felt like for the amount of hype that it was going to be better. And that's me housing a pizza after like playing soccer down there, running around for hours, playing football down there, like stuff that makes you hungry, stuff that makes you want to down like half a pizza or a whole pizza by yourself. And like, I don't know, I wasn't impressed. Could have been better.
Yeah, I think nothing beats a nice little small mom and pop pizza joint.
That's where it's at, especially up in the Binghamton area that way. Cortez's and Nurchie's were the go-tos, man. Classic. And I mean, VB, how can you forget the Pizza Chapel?
The Pizza Chapel, shout out Pizza Chapel,
dude.
The taco pizza,
dude. That thing slap. That's gonna be the next podcast sponsor. We're gonna look for a Pizza Chapel sponsorship. There's actually one. I forget when we hit this, but I hit this one in Virginia Beach, like magic mushroom or yellow mushroom or something weird like that.
Mellow mushroom.
Mellow mushroom. Yeah, magic mushroom. That's the name of the pizza.
The big mushroom guy over here.
Yeah, no, the place was good. And I'm not sure if I'm saying it was good because I had a super cute waitress or because the pizza was good, but
it always helps.
Hey, I'm not here to
I always say it goes to the environment.
Was good vibes. I mean, when you name a freaking pizza restaurant Mellow Mushroom, I think you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, right. So, what's your favorite condiment that you use that you will put on anything?
So, if you asked me this 10, 15 years ago, it was like ketchup. Like, loved ketchup as a kid.
What's the weirdest thing you put ketchup on?
Dude, I don't do this anymore. But when I was a kid, I was one of those, like, I'll try anything once. Like, I was somewhat picky, but, like, would still try things. And, like, one time I remember trying ketchup on toast, and I was like, this was dumb. This was so dumb. But one of my family members, they still eat ketchup on pasta instead of pasta sauce, which, like, I'm sure any Italian listening to this is probably, like, throwing a little bit of a fit right now. Like, ketchup on pasta? Like, what? But, yeah, I have a family member that does that. I had a hot sauce phase. Big hot sauce guy. Like the spicy stuff. I don't know. I feel like you get to that certain point where, like, you're waking up at 4 a.m. every day, grinding it out until, like, 9 or 10 at night, and you just need to feel something. So you're like, oh, you should take up spicy food. So Old Bay hot sauce was the go-to in Maryland, and then lately I think it's a Carolina effect. Freaking love barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce.
Yeah, dude. Like, haven't decided on, like, an exact favorite, and it's funny because, like, if you go to different places, their take on, like, what a Memphis-style barbecue sauce is gonna be different from one place to the next. Like, in general, I like smoky flavors in the barbecue sauce, like a little bit of a sweetness. Lately, I'll put barbecue sauce on anything from freaking barbecue itself, like brisket, to, like, barbecue sauce on eggs. Like, it's freaking good. And I'm sure someone listening is gonna be like, but Dan, the high fructose corn syrup, and it's like, look, like, you know, we can't be perfect 100% of the time. For me, if I slap a little barbecue sauce on something and it makes it taste good, I'm slapping it.
There's a lot of other things out there that they're gonna kill us before the high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah,
and my barbecue.
like, freaking okay. I get the corn syrup and the barbecue sauce. You got me, but, like, you know, we filter the water here, so no fluoride. So trade-offs.
Yeah,
Can't have it all. Can't have it all.
Dude, I would say, so I used to be a big ketchup guy. I put ketchup on everything.
Yep.
And then when I went to college, I found mustard and sriracha.
Dude, sriracha slaps.
Mustard and sriracha together, the best combo.
Do they make that yet? Like, I know they have, like, a sriracha ketchup. Do they have a sriracha mustard?
I don't know. But I remember, like, in college, I was trying to ball in on a budget, and I was just eating chicken and rice for every meal just about. And then I was watching these old school, like, bodybuilding videos, and it was, like, the OG Chris Bumstead, like, full day of eating videos, and he did it, mustard and sriracha, and I tried it, never to look back.
Dude, that's quite a combo right there. Just like you get the heat, but you also get some like just classic flavor, like iconic flavor. Like, I don't know, like I feel like,
and it's low calories.
yeah,
I don't know how mustard's close to 0 calories, but sure is.
dude, that's one of the 7 wonders of the world right there.
Yeah. Like, how can a sauce be calorie free?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I mean,
It might be 0 calories, but
maybe if it's
cancer.
like vinegar based.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I don't have an answer on that one. That'll be a Chat GPT question later.
Freaking dude, that's what you should do. You should do a podcast and you're just talking to Chat GPT.
Dude, I need to give Chat GPT a voice. No, freaking, we've had some fun Chat GPT rabbit holes. Like, every now and then, I'll just randomly throw in, "Hey, ask it to make me a workout," and then I'll just continue to like basically ask it to make it more difficult, and just keep saying it's too easy, and like just see how far it's willing to go until you're getting like, single finger like handstand push-ups, and you're like, wait a second, like balancing for like my freaking like pointer finger and doing a handstand foot, like it's just ridiculous what it'll come up with sometimes. But I enjoy that a lot. Haven't tried that. Yeah, it wouldn't go well.
What is your favorite thing that you use AI for?
So, one of the like most helpful things I've used it for is when I'm doing Substack write-ups for the podcast, I upload the transcript from the podcast and ask it to pull the direct quotes. And I'll kind of give it like themes or different things that I'm looking for, but like it just organizes all the direct quotes. Maybe I'm lazy and should just hit Control F and find it myself, but I feel like it saves me time and it'll pull me all the direct quotes that I need that way. I also had a conversation with a friend one time, and we both decided we were going to make ChatGPT generate what our future spouses looked like.
Interesting.
And hers, when I threw it in for her, and the guy that, oh, jeez, shoot. The guy that came up literally looked like Gus from Psych. It's like, bro. And then like it generated a girl for me that way. And I was like low key vibing with it, but like I've never met anyone that looks like this. So like I'm not sure how accurate that is. Like also it was a brunette that it generated. I feel like historically I've had more blondes than brunettes. So interesting take by the AI on that one, but we'll see how it comes around. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we use AI for in general. I think those are the big things. I mean, again, there's still some rabbit holes every now and then. I'm sure that'll evolve over time, but for right now, those are our AI go-tos. So
Yeah. So kind of bringing it back real quick. What's one of the biggest gimmicks you think is going around right now in the fitness industry? So you tee up real quick.
Dude, there's a few of them. I'm not huge on foam rolling. We talked about that the other day. Like, I'm not gonna say it doesn't do anything. I think people overhype what it does and people market it incorrectly.
The perspective of it.
Yeah, I do think there's something from a neural standpoint, but I think a lot of people market it from more of a mechanical model, and I don't think the foam roller magically releases the knots that exist in someone's IT band. I just don't think that's a thing.
Yeah, it's not creating a tissue adaptation.
No.
It's creating a neurological stimulus.
Yeah.
Like the whole mechanotransduction aspect of it.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I think little things like that. I mean, I'm pretty anti ultrasound, and there's certain modalities that I see people gravitating towards and spending a lot of money on, and I'm just kind of like, why? Same thing from like equipment in like clinics and stuff. Like there's some clinics I've seen that spend a ton of money on stuff that I personally don't see the need for. But again, I'm someone that doesn't want to spend a ton of money on things. So it's like, I'm going to get it done right. I'm going to get it done well, but I also don't want to break the bank to do so. Like, I don't need a multi-million-dollar tech lab set up to get everything done. And I think ultimately, whatever you add to your space, whether you're performance rehab, whatever, like it just has to like all sync together and communicate together well. Like if you're going to use tech, the tech all needs to like align with one another. If you're going to like get equipment, it's like it has to make sense. Like, you know, hey, I'm going to get ISOFIT for my clinic space because we do a lot of isometrics. That makes sense. So just thinking about like the logistics behind things, because I find a lot of times people don't think about the logic behind things. They just do things to do things or buy things to buy things.
Yeah, it's the whole shiny object syndrome. It's like, I want the newest and greatest thing, but one, context, like, is it going to actually suit the athletes that you serve? And then two, everything has opportunity costs.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have this nice new shiny piece of machinery, but it's taking away from something else that you could be doing.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And like, I think a lot of times I talk about the low hanging fruit a lot with people. It doesn't matter if it's a podcast or a consult call or this, whatever. There's just so many things like metaphorically like apples that you can just reach up and grab.
Yeah.
But instead people would rather find a ladder and go like 100 foot higher. And it's like, dude, just grab what's right there. It's still an apple. So like for me with the like clinic stuff, like isometrics are low hanging fruit. It's like, look, like you're literally training without moving. There's very little that can go wrong. So like ISOs are big. I think some element of manual therapy is big. You don't have to have it all figured out. Like I think that's a big misconception that I had when I was early on in school, is like, you know, learning all these concepts. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, man, I have to hit this perfect every time. Like if I'm going to do a grade 4 mobilization, it needs to be a grade 4. And then you start clinical practice and realize your patient has no idea the difference between grade 3 or grade 4. They just know that you're moving stuff around and it feels better afterwards.
Yeah. And that's kind of the beauty of it too. It's like, you never know, like whatever athlete comes through your door, it's always N equals 1.
Yep.
It's, you know, you can come in with ACL reconstruction and every person's going to be slightly different.
Literally. And I mean, on top of that, like even just something as simple as freaking breathing, like we all freaking do it. Doesn't matter if you're an athlete or like someone in your 80s, like I hope you're still breathing. And if you are, like guys like Rob Wilson, Andrew Hauser, Luke Way, Harvey Martin, like they're all doing phenomenal work on the breath side of things. And it's like, you know, you can have drastic impacts on people by literally just helping and impacting the way that they breathe. Like you don't need any fancy special equipment for it. You don't need like, you know, millions of dollars of training. Like you can literally just have such a profound impact by like breathing.
Yeah. Speaking of like low hanging fruit, so breath, posture, and just walking, daily movement. So looking back, you're depending on the athlete, you're going to see this athlete for maybe an hour, 3, maybe 5 times a week. Well, how many other hours in the week are you not seeing them?
Yeah.
And if they're not addressing the low hanging fruit per se, then they're just erasing pretty much what you do in the clinic.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because that was always my answer to people that came to me for like running gait. They're like, I need you to fix my running gait, change my running gait. And, you know, we brought this up with Scott Greenberg on a podcast, how like there's no perfect running gait for every person. Like everyone's built a little different. Like for some, it might be they're overpronating. For some, it's not pronating enough. And it's the same level of pronation, right? Like it's different for everyone, but like if you think you can change the way that someone has potentially moved for years in 1 to 2 hours a week, you're strongly misguided. Like you need to have more touch points, more contact points, and the stuff that you do has to elicit a real potent neural response. I like that word, potent. Really like that.
Yeah.
Real potent neural response that way. Like nervous system has to be going haywire if you want to change movement. I think it was Gray Cook or Gary Gray. One of them had a good line about how poor movement can exist anywhere, but the patterns of poor movement only exist in the brain. And I've gone on the like neuroscience rabbit hole this year, if you will, which hated neuroscience in school, but
Yeah.
going back to it, brushing up.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to not just the coach. And I think when we say coach, we always think strength and conditioning, but it goes to AT, PT, whoever the practitioner is with that athlete.
Yeah.
Like our main goal is eventually to become obsolete. Like we want that athlete to become as autonomous as possible. And with that, we're trying to change some behavior. So it's like if we're not educating the athlete on some of the whys and that we're doing things, then it's like, are we really creating a change, or are we setting them up for a bigger failure?
I think that's huge. I mean, I've made so many references to Rob's book, The Check Engine Light, and I think he just nailed it, right? Like, you want athletes to get to this level where they are able to do it themselves and they understand like what that dashboard is telling them and what to do about it. And if they need a tune up, they seek you out. But I think the more you focus on empowering them instead of teaching dependence, the better they do.
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to ask was, what are a couple books that you think every person should read?
Hey, look, they're right there.
Like, doesn't have to be like human performance related. It can just be in general.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna start off with probably the most controversial one. Maybe we'll get canceled. Boy, wouldn't that be the day on the 500th episode? But at least for me, faith is really important, and I think that people should pick up a Bible more often. Like, I think it's simple. Like,
especially in today's world.
even if you don't want a physical copy, you can literally get one for free from the App Store. Like, just download one,
And then
pick it up.
And side caveat on that. So again, like, faith's real big in my life. Reading the Bible can be extremely hard. It is very wordy. It's more wordy than the most wordiest textbook when you're just really trying to figure out, what does this mean for me?
Yep.
And at the end of it, you just kind of think like you're like the crappiest person ever when you read it. So I found this one website called Enduring Word. So you can search up scripture in there and it'll basically put it in layman's terms of what it means.
Well, they've got different versions now too. They've got like
Yeah.
super simple to understand. That's a question. What's your favorite version of the Bible? Are you a King James guy?
No, King James does not. No, I'm a bit like NIV is good.
Yep.
I kind of want to switch to the ESV.
Yep.
Just because it's like most of the groups that I'm in Bible study, that's what everyone uses.
So
I'm still a rookie in the NIV.
I'm a NIV guy as well. But when I was in college, everyone was ESV, and they said that stood for the extra sexy version of the Bible. So we might convert at some point, but for right now, I'm a big NIV guy. But yeah, I think people need to pick up the Bible more. I think Rob's book is phenomenal from teaching people how to, learn, understand, appreciate what the body's telling them. I think people should read that because that's not taught. The body doesn't come with an owner's manual. I also really liked Nick Sedato's book, Sweat More During Peace, Bleed Wet. Can't talk all of a sudden. Jeez, sounded like a freaking like Looney Tunes character for a second. Bleed Less During War. And in that one, it just goes into the value of preparing for things. And I really appreciate how Nick was very like raw and authentic about moments where he wasn't prepared for stuff like job interviews or like elements in like class and school and different things. And like, I think there's a lot to be said and learned from that. I did like Mike Matthews' Little Black Book a lot, and I do reread that one every year. That's just force a habit at the start of the year at this point. I mean, there's plenty of good books out there, but I think people talk about reading a lot, and I do read a decent amount, but like I don't go out there and like read like 100 self-help productivity books and not put it into action. Like, I think like you can read a little bit, but also like make sure what you're reading has an impact and applies to your life, because I think a lot of people read to say that they're just readers, when in reality it's like it's not changing or impacting or influencing you whatsoever. And like some of these books, especially in the self-help side of things, like they're designed to improve your life. So if you're not taking the lessons from them and making life changes, there might be a reason you have to keep rereading more and more books like that,
Yeah. Because at the end, so the self-help books, they're not, most people read them for the feel good.
Yeah.
And they like to read it and they feel good. You get the David Goggins-esque type feeling.
Right.
Where it's like you can run through that wall right there. But in reality, it's meant to be active. It's meant for you to actually reflect and then actually change and challenge some of your thoughts.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And there's plenty of other books out there that, like, Maston Kipp wrote one that comes to mind. Like, his book was like a self-help, but like it had steps within it that you had to like put in work and almost like journal throughout the book, if you will. So it's like,
Right.
if you're not doing the active component, then you don't get the most out of the book. And I appreciate when they do things like that, because I think people get more out of it that way.
Nice. If you could sum up the past 500 episodes in one word, what would
Man,
it be? Maybe 2 words.
two
Give
words.
me a little bit of bandwidth.
2 words, man. I mean, the first phrase that comes to mind is freaking phenomenal. I feel like I say that a lot, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's really just been freaking phenomenal. Like, it's just like one thing after another. Like, again, just crazy to think what we've been able to do, the conversations we've been able to have, the people we've been able to connect with, and hopefully some type of positive impact along the way. Like, I look at the numbers and like, I can't believe how many tens of thousands of people over and over again have listened and tuned in, which is just unbelievable. And like, I'll look at like the monthly impressions, and it's like, I don't know that many people. I certainly don't have that many followers on freaking like Instagram, but like, I appreciate everyone tuning in and listening and supporting. Like, I'm pulling up the stats right now, and I just want to see, like, from an audience standpoint, like, from all platforms, 82% of our listeners are US based. The rest is international. Like, we've got like 3% in Canada, 2% in Australia. We have a population in Ireland, a population in Singapore. I don't know many people in those countries, but it's like, it's cool. Like, thank you for listening and supporting. Like, I think it's freaking epic. And like, when I go to Spotify only, we've got a footprint in Japan. We've got a footprint in Sweden, Netherlands, France, Norway, that are all about equal, just about 1% each, little over 1%. And then you jump down to like the half a percent, which is probably, a couple hundred people at most. But like Italy, Spain, Finland, all that sort of thing, it's like, I don't know people in those countries, but like, it's cool to be able to reach them. Like, it's just freaking phenomenal. Like, thank you for the support. Thank you for listening. And if you ever want to engage, like, email me, DM me, because like, I'm always interested to hear what people think and impressions and all that sort of thing.
Nice. Freaking phenomenal. You heard it here.
Yeah. I mean, just trying to be Mr. Worldwide at this point. How many countries can we get?
Call you Pitbull.
Dude, I want I want the podcast played in all 7 continents. I want the penguins in Antarctica to be jamming through the podcast. That'd be sick,
That would be sick.
dude.
Cool.
What a freaking time. Dude, that was a fast conversation. I feel like that flew by.
Yeah, that did fly by.
Dude, anything else that we had to cover today? Any conspiracy theories? That, again, we'd probably get canceled. So
I mean, that's we could go down some conspiracy theory rabbit holes.
I mean,
My big thing, UFOs.
yeah,
So that's kind of like the big thing now.
they're definitely real.
They're definitely real. I mean, and it's funny. It's, the media kind of throw stuff out there and be like,
Mm.
yeah, like there's this object flying, it was about, especially like in the ocean. Ocean's crazy.
Dude,
Scariest place ever.
I'm with you on the ocean.
They're like, there's this thing about 2 football fields wide, and we don't have anything that big. And 2, we don't have anything that moves that fast.
Right.
And then you get to the air and you got objects that are, making pinpoint turns,
Yep.
going faster than a sound barrier. It's like,
What is that?
what is that?
Yeah.
And then now the media, it's like all the turmoil and stuff going on now. And it's just like one news cycle to throw it out there and be like, oh yeah, like a Navy pilot saw this, boom, throw it out there in one news cycle. It's just like, wait a minute. We're not
We're not going to investigate that
we're
further.
not going to double click on that. We're just going to like, yeah, like something happened. We really don't know what it is, but yeah, let's focus on this thing over here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I agree with you on the ocean. Like, I know that they say we haven't explored it because we can't handle like the pressures and stuff, but like, there's got to be something down there.
I think we started exploring and then we found something and then now we're trying to trying to get out.
I think there's something down there, and I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm still gonna go to the freaking beach, still gonna go in the water, but like,
Yeah.
there's something about it that doesn't add up. And I feel like all these different like mysteries somehow tie together, right?
Dude, I think the pyramids.
Yes,
How do you get
that's where I was
how
going
do you get
next.
such a perfect structure back then? Dude, they've been doing construction on I-64 in Virginia for like a decade.
Yep.
But yet they built the pyramids. Like,
Yeah.
something's not right.
No, I mean, how'd they built that, what they were for. Again,
Yeah.
that tie in with the ocean stuff, but also, like, they're finding that, like, people building stuff can change, like, Earth. Like, apparently the Chinese built some, like, huge dam or some kind of big structure over there, and it, like, changed either the tilt or the rotation of Earth because of how much mass they centered in this one area. It changed it by a couple inches, which, like, doesn't sound like a big
Couple
deal,
are a lot.
but, like, when you're talking, like, space terms, like, can you imagine if you're in, like, a spaceship, like, heading towards something and you're, like, 2 inches off, but you're 2 inches off traveling for years?
Yeah.
So that 2 inches ends up being, like, really, really far. So, I don't know. I think there's some wild stuff going on out there that we don't have answers for. Pyramids, ocean, outer space, I don't know. Somehow it's all connected.
It's all connected. The media, dude. That just don't even get me started on that. Just so much negativity out there.
I mean, I also feel like people talk about this, the whole predictive programming thing, like, "Oh, The Simpsons predicted this yet again," or something. Like,
It's pretty interesting.
does the media, like, are there people that know what comes next? Like, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Like,
I don't know. The thing that gets me is just so much negativity that is pushed.
yeah.
I mean, you can look up the stats, but I'd pretty much bet everything that north of 80% of all media is negative,
Yeah, I buy that.
and it's probably way more than that.
I used to, when I was in, like, college, and wanted to stay somewhat up to date with the news, I don't anymore, but there's a Good News Network, it's called, and it only shares positive stories. So,
Nice.
if you want the antidote to modern media, Good News Network, if it's still going, they're going out of business.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, people like the negative stuff for some reason, man,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of any others, but I feel like those are the main one. I definitely think there's some kind of Bigfoot Sasquatch thing out there.
Yeah, there has to be.
And there's also something weird. I've heard this from multiple people since I moved to North Carolina. I haven't ventured out to explore it yet, but maybe we'll do that your next trip down here. Out in the Appalachians in western part of like North Carolina that way, there's apparently a bunch of these like random staircases in the woods that like don't go to anything or anywhere. You're just like walking through the woods and it's like, oh, there's like just a staircase to nowhere. And apparently there's multiple of them through there. So I don't know who put them there, why they're there, where they go to.
We can add that to our armadillo hunt.
Dude. Yeah, the armadillos in North Carolina. I don't even know if you're allowed to hunt them. I just know that there's armadillos in North Carolina,
Wild.
which is freaking wild. Yeah. Yeah, and like all I figure like when you see stuff like that is it's almost like whoever was like constructing that aspect of like the world, if you will. It's almost like that kid who gets Legos for the first time and doesn't know what to do with them, so he just starts building random stuff. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna build a stairway in the middle of the woods, so like, my little like Lego figure can like see better or something." Like random stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know what all's out there, but it's gonna be interesting to find out if we ever find out.
Yeah, we probably won't.
I mean, if I guess we should say if we live to tell the tale on some of these, because if we meet Bigfoot, I'm not sure if we're.
Yeah, if we'll live to see it or live to tell it.
I don't know. What do you think? Could we like forget 100 men versus a gorilla, 100 men versus a Bigfoot? Like, I feel like it's gonna vary based on like.
But then again, like I feel like we think that he's gonna be so, like this like negative creature.
Yeah,
What if he's like the most like? What if he's like a giant panda? Like he's just like super cuddly.
like super chill.
Yeah, he's like super chill.
Or if he's like smoking some of that grass that they have out west,
Like,
and he's
hey,
just
what
like
if he's like a hippie?
yeah, like hippie Bigfoot,
Yeah, he's just all about peace and love, man.
dude. I mean,
People hate on my Bigfoot.
yeah, maybe we shouldn't hate on Bigfoot. I mean, I won't hate on AI because I think AI will take over eventually, kind of like what is it, The Matrix or some of those
Oh,
sci-fi
with
type.
like the Terminator.
Dude, I don't know. don't hate on the AI because I have a feeling they'll find a way to take over eventually.
Yeah.
It's interesting because like I feel like people are gonna welcome that. Like I feel like if you gave people an option to like elect Chat GPT for president, there's a high amount of people that vote for that.
Yeah.
So,
But I just think the whole Chat GPT thing, like people are just gonna rely on it so much where we already lack critical thinking. So it's literally just gonna make people dumber.
yeah, I mean
What we don't need.
there's studies showing that already. I mean, it's crazy. It's all about how you use it at the end of the day.
Yeah. Just don't abuse it. At the end of the day, just be a good dude.
just just be a good guy.
Yeah.
I think most people are good, or at least they have good intentions. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, awesome. Well, this was fun, dude. This was what, an hour 20?
Nice.
Freaking might throw some of them like bloopers where I hit record but we didn't do the intro yet.
Yeah.
Might have to spin some of those in there
Yeah.
somehow.
Do a little riff off of it.
Dude,
I'm just so straight.
I'm just disappointed that like Siri didn't start chiming in during our
Yeah,
episodes.
there's
We had a
like-
few episodes where Siri
like,
just
"Hey,
started
Siri."
to randomly pop into the conversation. Didn't happen this time. Dude,
Hey Siri.
when we hit 1,000, we'll repeat this, but we're gonna phone people throughout it.
Oh,
And we're just gonna add live elements to it. Where
we should do that and just like do it in the afternoon, just get hammered while we do it. Just hammer because about 1,000 episodes, you should be if you're on the same trajectory.
I mean, if we're not like 1% or higher of all podcasts at that point, I messed something
Yeah,
up.
dude, we can get like a nice bottle of something and just start knocking it down and then just see what happens.
Nice bottle of freaking energy.
Yeah, nice bottle, but it was all the energy.
All the energy drinks, or maybe the 1,000th episode, if we're big enough, we just throw like a conference party type thing, and we just invite all the people that have been on the podcast.
Huge round table.
Dude, literally, like we literally just like get everyone together in this like conference hall kind of thing, and we just put microphones on, record, and like let AI sort through what to include and not include at random.
And like piece it together. Yeah.
Literally, like
Like some of like the coach 'em up shit that they do.
I haven't watched enough of it to know
Well,
exactly what
well,
you're talking about, but
it's like the real so like the promo videos they send for it.
yep.
They throw it through AI and it grabs a bunch of these different clips and put it together to where it sounds like it's like one clip. I don't know. You'll have to look it up. I forgot what they use, but there's like an AI that does it.
I'll look that up.
Because now that you have video, you'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
So it's you slap the video.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, we've got video from all the podcasts that we did on Zoom, so technically we could go back. The next 500 could literally be the last 500 in video and AI form.
Yeah,
No.
right.
Oh man, spitballing ideas. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Braun Performance and Rehab Podcast. Reminder, episodes like this are made possible by ISOFIT, Firefly Recovery, and Engage Movement. Check the description below for more on all of those. Be sure to give us a 5-star review on your favorite platform. I'm terrible about asking for reviews, but I'm going to start asking for them very nicely. If you wouldn't mind dropping a 5-star review real quick, following, subscribing, whatever that way, I'd appreciate that. Share the episode, the podcast with a friend too that you think would benefit from this. I'm not sure if they're going to benefit from our conspiracy theories, but hey,
Hey, fuel to the fire. Do not throw a comment.
facts.
Start going.
Yeah, I know. As always, thank you again for your support because none of this is possible without you all listening, tuning in over the past several years. Really appreciate everyone and looking forward to the next 500 and change.